listeners. I will tell you some stuff about carillons in general, and this one in particular as we go along. My name is Wiley Crawford. I am the son of Andrew W. Crawford, after whom this carillon is named, and in fact, today, May 28th, would have been his 104th anniversary. So it's a perfect day, actually, for me to closing out this series of concerts this season. I'll be back in November, and if you want to join our mailing list, my mailing list, take a card down here right next to the collection box, and I'll be happy to keep you posted so you'll know when things resume in the fall. And also there will be some occasional concerts in the summer, and I don't have dates for those yet, but Lee Cobb, who lives in Fort Myers, is willing to drive up here every now and then and give concerts. And when he and I can arrange some dates, I will post them and let you know. Also on the Facebook page, which is listed down here, just go to Facebook and look for Venice Carillon, you'll find us, okay? All right, that's about it for now. I'll be talking to you during the concert, so that's part of the fun for being right here on the ground. And I'll tell you, as I say, more about all of the above as we go on. I traditionally start these concerts with the Ukrainian flag up here, thanks to my friend Jean Ronaldo down here, who brings a little flag every week. And we start with the Ukrainian national anthem in salutation to the brave warriors in Ukraine who are fighting for their freedom. So please, if you're able and willing, stand for the Ukrainian national anthem. Okay, most of the music I'm going to play is arranged from other instruments. Obviously that piece was not prepared for the carillon, nor is this next one. This next one is a Baroque piece by Johann Sebastian Bach. If you play piano, you may have played this on the piano, although it was originally written for lute. As you in front can see, I'm playing the carillon with my fists, mostly. I open hands sometimes to play chords. Because there are 48 bells in this carillon, I have 48 keys, and I also have 19 pedals. The keys are laid out like piano keys. There's a row of white keys, a row of black keys arranged in a 2-3-2-3-2 pattern up here. And the heaviest 19 bells are connected to both keys and the pedals, so I have a choice of playing them with either the hand or the foot. The biggest bell is 1 ton. It's over there at the corner, and it strikes this note. And because this is a totally mechanical instrument, I can play it very quietly, or a little louder, or very loud. And as you hear There are no dampers on the bells. They ring on as long as they would like to ring on. And the fact that I can play quietly and loudly means that I can play musically, in theory. So you should hear some variations in volume and dynamics, depending on how hard I'm hitting and what expression I want to get in the music. Okay, so the Bach Prelude. Here we go. Okay, thank you. So this carillon obviously is right on the ground. It used to be a traveling carillon. It was built in the Netherlands in 1991 by a company called Royal Eijsbouts. It traveled around Europe for a while, just publicizing what carillons are and in an attempt to create more carillons in Europe, although there are already a pretty good density of them there, as you will hear later. Then it was sold to a company in the United States, which also traveled the carillon around the United States in an attempt to sell more carillons here, since this is not an instrument that is well known in this country. And at one point, the company that did that decided they weren't going to try to sell carillons any longer, and they put it up for sale, and that's how it came here. I raised the money to bring it here to Venice, and we took the wheels off, and it is no longer a traveling carillon. There are 2 traveling carillons that are still wandering the country. They perform mostly at Renaissance and medieval fairs. There was one in November that came to visit us in Sarasota last November at the medieval fair. They'll probably be back again next year if you'd like to see another carillon on wheels in the case. Those are smaller. Those 2 carillons have 35 bells. We have 48 bells. This is what they call a concert carillon, because 48 bells is 4 full octaves, and that's plenty for most of what carillon music is written for. Okay, moving on. Try to remember. There are about 620 carillons in the world on many continents except for Australia. I'm sorry, Antarctica. There are 2 in Australia, actually, maybe 3 now. There are 180 in the Netherlands, which is the home of the carillon. Netherlands, Belgium, northern France is where carillons originated 500 years ago. There are about 162 or so in the United States. That keeps changing, and a dozen in Canada. We have 4 in the state of Florida, including this one. This one happens to be the southernmost carillon in all of the United States. Moving northward, there's a 61-bell carillon at the Bun Lake in Lake Wales at the Bach Singing Tower. It's a beautiful setting, wonderful setting for a carillon. Not as intimate as this is, because the carillonneur is up 150 feet in the air, but there is a video feed so you can watch the performer as they're playing. Then west of that is Clearwater. The Church of the Ascension has a carillon. It's 49 bells, just 1 more bell than we have, but they're heavier bells. And at Gainesville, the University of Florida also has a carillon as well. So those are the 4 carillons in Florida. You may hear of other things called carillons, but they're not really a carillon if they don't have real bronze bells like these and a real mechanical touch keyboard like this. All right, the next piece was actually written for the carillon. It was by a 16th, 17th century composer named Gijsbert Steenwyck, obviously from the Flanders, Belgium, Holland. And this is his Sarabande. Good, thank you for your applause. What else can I tell you about carillons? People often ask me, how do you tune the bells? Well, I don't tune the bells. The bells are tuned very carefully, at the foundry before they are delivered, and any carillon set that is delivered is usually inspected by a musician before they leave the foundry. The bells are tuned by scraping out metal from the inside profile of the bells. As you see, they're ornamented very nicely on the outside with the inscription of the date and the manufacturer and so forth, usually with a Latin inscription. And these bear the inscription of the company of Royal Eijsbouts. So they're very carefully tuned. They don't go out of tune, really, for centuries, unless there's bad atmosphere, which affects the corrosion on small bells. So that's the story. Next piece is from a movie called If, ... and the music is also called If, ... Okay, well, you're getting special treat today because I don't normally play a lot of music written for carillon because people don't recognize it. It's not familiar music the way other pieces are, like Try to Remember and so forth. But the pieces that are written for carillon bring out the special tonal qualities of the bells. This next one is a perfect example of that. If you were to play these same notes on a piano, which is where I got my musical background, the music sounds very thin and empty. On the bells, however, because of the unique harmonics, the overtones of the bells, there's a magical quality to the chords that come out. So this is called Sanatina for Carillon by Chef van Balken, a contemporary Dutch composer. So that's actually a 15-minute piece. That was just the first movement, but someday I'll give you the whole 15 minutes, but not this week. Right now, it's time for Little Beatles. People often ask me, what can you play on the carillon? And I say, well, basically anything for piano, harpsichord, lute, anything from Bach to Beatles. Well, we just played Beatles, and I'm not going to play Bach. I've already done that, so I'm going to play something by Vivaldi. This is a Largo from a lute concerto, and here we go. Okay, well, this year we lost one of the great song makers of the 21st century, Stephen Sondheim. So I'm going to play something in his memory. Okay, well, as I've said, this is the last concert for the season, the regularly scheduled concert. I'm going to have a guest performer here in the summer, and he will come on dates as yet to be determined. Pick up a card here, drop a little something in the donation box if you can. We would appreciate it in support of the maintenance Carillon advertising for the festival. We're going to have a festival next year, which involves having once a month carolliners from all around the world. Sometimes we've had them from as far away as the Netherlands, and we do that in December, January, February, and March. So we do pay them for those concerts, and the money you donate here will help to support that. So we greatly appreciate anything you can offer. I'm going to finish up with a piece that was written for Carillon by a fellow named Géo Clément. It's called Compenella. And those of you who are regular attendees will recognize this piece. The rest of you are going to enjoy it for the first time. It's a very happy bell-related piece.